Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Nick. I'm here at the office, so forgive me if it gets a little loud at times. I lost my screen. Hang on. Okay, something popped up. So those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Sarah Pamies, and I'm running for a 2-year term as the treasurer for Happen. Currently, I'm employed as a fiscal analyst 4 at DSHS, and I bring 4 years of state experience in finance and accounting to the table. Prior to working for the state, I have about 7-8 years of corporate accounting experience in the private sector, and that was working for large companies in San Diego, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. But my time with the state has given me experience with OFM policies, SAM guidelines, and the state accounting systems, and that will all prove useful in this role. Education-wise, I hold a bachelor's in accounting, as well as an MBA and an MS in management and leadership. And I'm running for this role because I want to support Happen by bringing my accounting knowledge and skills into the group and basically just doing what I'm good at. I'm organized, detailed, and dependable, and I can ensure that Happen's financial reporting will be current and accurate so that the executive committee can solely focus on mission and objectives.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. Jim.
So I'm currently at the Atlantic base for King County Metro, and it appears that they're in the middle of shift change. So hopefully it won't be too loud in the background. As mentioned, my name is Jim Mendoza. I'm with the Department of Retirement Systems, part of the Education and Outreach Unit. And I'm humbled to accept nomination to serve a 2-year term as one of the co-chairs for our BRG, because I believe in the bigger picture of its vision, and that's to increase visibility of our population for meaningful roles within state government. I'm interested in working with the leadership of our BRG and helping to set a pathway for the next Nicholas Vann, next Makaiwa Dolman, the next Umair Shah. Now, I understand that for me, retirement's about 5 years away. Yes, I've got to actually announce that. I've got a set date and everything like that. So I get that anything that may be achieved will likely benefit those who will come after. And I'm okay with that because I'm happy to play a part in creating that legacy. As mentioned, I am with the Education Outreach Unit with the Department of Retirement Systems, and in many ways, I am the public face of the agency. I'm out there with my colleagues, talking to employees, employers, and employee groups, and trying to communicate one of the most complicated pension plans in the United States for public employees. And I see that easily translating to this. Outside of DRS, I've been part of the Speakers Bureau for Puget Sound Komen, advocating for the fight against breast cancer. I've also had the privilege of serving as statewide president for the Freemasons of Washington. In the more than 150-year history of that organization, only the 3rd person of color to fill that position. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, and I'd like to be part of that work. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jim. I see some of our nominees are here, so feel free to raise your hand or just come off mute.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
We got you.
Cool. All right. So my name is Thanh Tran. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm running for one of the co-chair positions for a 2-year term. I've been in state service for 7 years, currently working as an EDAI professional at DSHS. My primary role is as a READY program manager. That stands for Respect, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, where I oversee a community of practice of over 160 members who go out and support EDAI work in our community services division within DSHS. I'm also a DSHS Pro Equity anti-racist consultant, PAIR for short, and I'm excited to be working closely with Dr. J and her team at the State Office of Equity to help put into action by implementing the PAIR playbook, which was signed into law by the governor's executive order for all state agencies. A little bit about me. As a first-generation Vietnamese refugee, I came here when I was a baby, 3 months old. And growing up, I felt the pains of prejudice, discrimination, bias that left me with feelings of othering at a very early age in middle school. And I've since then turned that pain into a passion to empower others to find their voice when advocating for fair and equitable treatment through authentic representation. I also stand as an ally for all marginalized communities that intersect as a bridge builder in our common shared interests, because I believe in coalition building. Now, as an Asian American, I also realize that I possess privilege and oppression and invisibility in this social construct. And I envision that our BRG members will be in a place and a space that will speak truth to power regarding the marginalization and bias that we as ANHPI experience, not just outside of our communities, but within our communities to move towards healing. So within the ANHPI umbrella term, I realize that none of our lives are monolithic. And as a Vietnamese American, I don't speak for all Asians. Shoot, I don't even speak for all Vietnamese people. I believe it's also important to acknowledge the different lived experiences within our community, from those that have mixed ethnicities to how East Asians and Southeast Asians might experience life in America a little bit differently. And I also want to make sure that we also amplify our Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander brothers, sisters, and siblings who experience far greater disparities in representation, access, and social economic outcomes. And now I'll just end by saying that I believe that these meaningful conversations will help grow our community closer together if we want to truly unite as a family. So whether I have the privilege to serve in a designated seat or I do a lot of things behind the scenes, I don't really care. I'm just here for the legacy, just like Ron Chu and Rep. Tomiko Santos said during the kickoff event, right? So many other civil rights pioneers who have done this work decades before us. I'm just simply taking that baton because they've made it a little bit easier for us to organize. So let's make it happen. Thank you.
Anybody else like to share?
I can probably share a little bit, Nick.
Okay, Brian, you've got the mic.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Locke. I was nominated to be the policy committee lead for a 2-year term. And I appreciate all the folks that nominated me for that and a couple other positions. Of course, I've been in state government for close to 30 years. I probably think year 2029 right now. I'm currently a contracts and finance specialist at the Washington State Department of Health in the Office of Resiliency and Health Security. So I've only been there the last 2 years, but past stops in state government include OFM, Department of Commerce, and Pierce College. So got a lot of state experience. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, I was co-chair of the Asian State Employee Network and was a former acting director at the Commission on Asian Pacific American Affairs from 1993 and 94. So I have quite a bit of policy experience. I do a lot of that work now, not necessarily for work, but I do it as co-chair currently with the Asian Pacific Islander Coalition of South Puget Sound, which are several other chapters in Pierce, King, Spokane, and Yakima. So I'm proud of some of the work, legislative work, policy work I've done through that organization. I look forward to helping out on promoting, advocating for policies, legislation that impact Asian, Pacific Islander, and Native Hawaiian state employees, and hope to utilize my network within the current API caucus in the state legislature and within the governor's office to help as much as I can and with the BRG to advance some of our priorities. So looking forward to meeting you all in person at some point, and I look forward for the role if elected. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Brian. Nadia, is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't
Can you
take it, Nadia?
guys, sure. Can you guys see me? Okay.
Yes.
So my name is Nadia. I am from Mongolia. My last name is Damchii. So I live in Olympia, Washington with my husband and two children. I am actually new at this state. I've been working at DSHS now, it's 2 years as a management analyst in lease facility maintenance operations. So, I always wanted to encourage, people and help others. I used to work Red Cross in Mongolia and Deloitte, Onch. And I also worked in Mongolian People Party. That's one of the biggest political party in Mongolia. So, my previous positions, I was involved in international and domestic political parties and different segments of organizations and really in communities through the memberships and donations and charities. And I thought like, okay, where can I help and happen? And I thought, okay, I do have all these experiences, even though I don't have much experience in a state employee, but I do have experiences from my previous positions. So I thought, okay, I'm going to run it for a membership coordinator. So thank you, and I will try my best.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nadia.
Thanks.
Great. Is there anybody else that wants to share?
There's somebody named iPhone that has their hand raised.
That would be me. I'm Charice Pidcock, and I am also running for membership coordinator. I have experience both with nonprofits and other organizations setting up membership, and it's important to get those records straight from the beginning and help recruit new members and share and help support the organization. And so I too would like to use my skills to help support the group and get it off to a solid foundation and good start, and feel that I can contribute in this way. So I look forward to meeting all of you and supporting you in this work however I can, whether elected or not. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Charice. See a few more nominees that haven't shared, so if you would like to, please raise your hand. Or just move.
Are you folks okay if I go?
Go for it.
Awesome. My name is Atina Silivelio. I am a human resource consultant for the Department of Ecology. I'm running for the role of membership coordinator because I have experience in new member orientation and new member outreach. I am currently a co-lead for Department of Ecology's first ever ERG called the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Respectful Workplace ERG, and in the process of completing our charter. I just passed my certification for diversity practitioner, and as a Pacific Islander, I am well aware that even within our Native Hawaiian, Asian American, and Pacific Islander community, Pacific Islanders are still underrepresented. My hope is to engage and recruit more folks interested in our communities, and also to engage and recruit more Pacifica voices to our group. Thank you. I hope everybody heard that.
Yes, that was perfect. Thank you, Atina. Right, we might have a couple more. So if you'd like to share, please go ahead. And if you don't feel like sharing, that's totally fine too.
Okay, I'll go. I'm Kenley Asato. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm running for the mentorship committee lead position. I'm really passionate about creating career pathways for people. I've worked in state government for the last 11 years now, and I've created internship, fellowship, mentoring programs at 2 of my previous state agencies. And I know that I personally wouldn't be here today in my position without the mentors that I've had in my life. I'm currently the deputy for the housing division at Department of Commerce, and I'm excited to work with you all on how and what we can build for our Happen BRG.
Awesome, thank you, Ken. All right, is there anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you all for sharing a little bit about yourselves. We were going to hopefully have ballots out to you very shortly. We are without a lot of elected people, so things might move a little bit slower than anticipated, but we're definitely moving to that next step in the elections process. And we also have to figure out how to deal with our vacancies. We don't have any options right now on the table currently. So we will figure that out and figure out how to fill those, even if that's after the full elections happen. We might have a special election. That could be one option. We could open it up again to folks now. We just haven't really had time to be able to digest that. That's not something that we anticipated when you opened up the nominations. So first time, organization, we're still trying to figure out, and definitely appreciate everybody's patience and understanding of that. Vicenta, if I'm pronouncing that right, did I see your hand up?
Yes, I just had a question. Well, you kind of answered part of the question for the open positions. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. So you answered the part about we don't really know what's going to happen with the open positions. So at this point, nominations are closed and we're moving on to elections. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
And I may have missed it in an email, but is there like a job? I mean, it's not a job, but is there a description for the positions that went out in the emails? Like what, people do and all that? Okay.
So the position descriptions and the elections process as it stands currently are all on my agency's website. I just dropped the link in the chat for you all. So you can look at those, see the position descriptions, see the elections process. Because our charter was approved in September, that put us kind of mid what a normal year would look like. And so we were already violating our own charter. So we had to develop a one-time inaugural elections process that we posted there as well. So it does have a timeline with the caveat that we're doing our best to continue adhering to it, with the intention that we have the elections done by the end of the year so that we can hit the ground running in January of 2023.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there's no more discussion about elections, I'm going to stop the recording. And then I will also open up the floor to anybody who wants to share anything that's on their mind for the last 4 minutes or just end the meeting.